everyone. PFC 213 coming at you live. Champions League review, finishing up Group E through H. Round of 16 is next. The last games of today, match day 6. Let's open it up with record-setting Liverpool. They tie their most goals scored or largest deficit in the Champions League with a 7-0 victory over Shakhtar. Got to give them an applause, man. This attack is absolutely brutal, dude. They had all four of their stars, the Fab Four they call them. They had them all going in this game. And boy, from the first 10 minutes, they were all over this team.
Well, we get to the point where it was almost unfair. And there was a lot of Liverpool fans, or at least I was a little bit nervous coming into the game. Because Sevilla, they're facing the worst team in the group. I mean, no one expected them to draw. And when Liverpool, true, they're at home, but at the same time, it's a big moment game.
Yeah, I agree, man. It was wide open coming into this game. Obviously, Liverpool were quietly the favorites to go through, but mathematically was still open, at least for the top 3 teams. So Liverpool had stumbled and Spartak had taken care of business. It could have easily been Sevilla and Spartak going through. And this episode, Huss, you would have hated this episode because we would have been all over you.
I want to shut up. I would have just not picked up. I would have went to bed.
Yeah, I wouldn't have blamed you, man. I wouldn't have blamed you. But yeah, Liverpool, man, impressive attack as always. Mane, Salah, Coutinho, Firmino. Who do you double team? Who do you mark? Their passing is so fast. Like I said last week, it's very, very close to a City attack. I can't wait to see these two teams play each other in the Prem.
Liverpool completely flawless in this game, man. Even James Milner off the bench, subs on, 3 assists. Sorry about that. They were unplayable today. And Coutinho with the hat trick. I mean, it was just it's a warm up for the rest of the season for them, and they can keep it going.
I agree, man.
That's why James Milner is perfect.
It looks like that 3-5-2 worked for them very well. They had Salah and Firmino kind of playing off each other. One would sometimes play a bit of a shadow while the other one pushes the line. But, man, they got – I don't think anyone saw this coming. 3 in the back for Liverpool. Like, what?
Well, it's also midweek. I saw some stories talking about how Firmino is the key to all this with his false 9, where he gets a bad rap because he doesn't score enough goals. And we've heard it from our own group. I've been defending him. I think maybe you have, Tiki. There's a few people that haven't. When it comes down to it, if they had a different striker in place, I don't know if this would work as well, because you still need that person, that axle in the middle. Firmino, you can let Salah, Mane, Coutinho, whoever's on the outside, run all day if they like. He's able to facilitate the ball with whoever's in the middle, whoever's on the outside. He can overlap. He can create space. He is tactically, he is unbelievable. He knows exactly formations, where to go. Like I said, to create the space for the, I guess, let's say the quote unquote true talents, which would be Coutinho, Mane, and Salah.
Agreed, man. Agreed. Go ahead, Al.
I think he can play the number 9, no problem. But I mean, against the top class center backs, I don't think he's gonna be as effective as Morata would be. As an actual number 9 would be in a big game that matters.
Well, I think it's a different type of striker, because Morata's not gonna hang back. He's gonna be pushing the line forward, which means that whoever's in that middle, if Firmino's not there, there's gonna be a huge gap in there. So someone needs to help out whoever's in the middle, facilitate the ball, make those overlap runs. We saw it last weekend when Salah, Firmino, Coutinho, all of them were in the middle. Then they're able to push out wide, really attack, overlap each other, create space.
No, it works really well. It works really well when it does work. But to Al's point, when you meet teams who are defensively sound, it does make Firmino look a little more exposed, as far as his weaknesses at that number 9 role. But yeah, when you're playing weaker opponents, I think it looks fantastic, because Firmino is a guy who can play that number 9 high, against I don't want to say average competition, but let's say against non-world class competition. He can play very well, and he certainly did today.
And with with Mane and Salah being able to run on the outside, that might actually work out very well in this day and age, when there's so many wing backs. where you see someone like Kyle Walker always going up the field. You can get in from behind with Mane going up the left side. That's where it may actually be better to have Firmino be the false nine rather than going against two center backs. You take him down from the outside in.
Yeah, and that's why Coutinho belongs in the middle, dude. Got himself a hat trick today. He belongs in that 10 spot. He's too good a finisher. He's too good in tight spaces. He's too good a dribbler to be wasted out wide. You see it with Hazard this year. All of a sudden, Hazard is striker partner with Morata. Guys like that, man, if they can work in tight spaces, they're guys who are built for speed who should stay outside. But guys like Coutinho who are built, takes those little steps, those quick little jolting cuts. He belongs in the middle in front of that 18, man. He's going to do so much damage that close to goal.
Well, the passing, that's the big part. The passing, the movement, off the ball movement. It's not even the strength of the shots. It's just the way they're able to unlock the defenses, again, with the movement off the ball and the passing.
Yeah, it's brilliant, man. What were you going to say, Al?
I'm just surprised that Klopp left Salah and Firmino and Coutinho on the field for 90 minutes. There's no need. You're up 3-4-0. Pull your main guys off.
Especially with the Merseyside derby this weekend. Maybe he doesn't see Everton as that big a threat. But I agree with you, man.
Just in general, man, for the longevity of the Premier League.
Yeah.
If you can rest people, you rest them. But, he always kind of runs his guys into the ground anyway, so we'll see how it plays out.
Well, there's a couple things. One, they went down. They were up 3-0 at halftime. Very similar to Sevilla. They left Alberto Moreno on the field last time. Sevilla came back. True, Sevilla is a little bit better of a team, we'd think, but at the same time, he learned from his mistake. Took Moreno off at halftime. Put James Milner on, which he should have done against Sevilla. And then the other two, Lovren, maybe he's getting a little tight when it comes down to coming back from injury and all that. And then Sturridge, maybe it's less about Firmino and more about Sturridge, trying to get him on, trying to get him hot, trying to give him some playing time.
Yeah, that could definitely be it, man. But not much to be said about this game. Absolute TCB. On the other side of Spartak Moscow, Quincy Promes, kid looking really good, Dutch kid. Very confident player. A guy who actually surprisingly would fit in that Liverpool system. Very powerful winger. Likes to go at people. Likes to have a go. So keep your eye on this kid.
Oh, you know what? Totally forgot. Mane's goal. That volley.
That was disgusting.
Okay. I can't believe I forgot about that. Oh, my goodness. When that ball came in, you see him thinking, he's space. Oh, no, you're just going to take it out of the air? 1.5. Cavani, watch yourself. Well, watch Mane, rather.
Yeah, he changed his mind. He was going to go laces, and I was like, I'll go side foot. And absolutely rocketed it. Absolutely brilliant goal, man. Like I said, Liverpool tie their record. Besiktas, they beat Besiktas 7-0 in 2007. Real Madrid's also tied for that when they beat Malmo, Zlatan's original team, back in 2015. Obviously, Zlatan was not on that team at that time. Now there are 3 results of 7-0. None greater in the Champions League. So congrats to Liverpool for owning those 2 of the 3 positions. Maribor won. Sevilla won. This one ends in a draw. Sevilla makes it through. Maribor had nothing to play for, really. It still gave Sevilla a hard time in this game, which was, kind of cool to see that. Instead of going out, like a bunch of bitches, they kind of fought and try to play spoiler, which was pretty cool. I always like to see that. But, yeah, out they go. We got Liverpool finishing out top, Sevilla second in this group, and they go through to the round of 16. Anything else before we wrap this group up?
Nah, man.
Cool, man.
I was very surprised of the inconsistency of Sevilla. I know Liverpool should have taken this group because they let up multiple goal leads in multiple games. And I'm just surprised that Sevilla can come back from 3 goals against Liverpool and then draw, which felt like a loss. When I feel like they should have won for the win. I know they did, but they should have won that game against Marlborough.
Yeah, some teams play up to their competition. They're better when their back's against the wall. Pepe's come out and said he likes it when his team goes down because they get to exercise that other ability of, coming back or pushing. But speaking of Man City, let's go to Group F. Shakhtar 2, Man City 1. Looks like they weren't coming back in this game, dude. Bernard, absolute balling. Sherrill's on deck. Makes the goalkeeper look like a rooted plant. Absolutely great.
Yeah, and right out of the gates, man, you can see Pep was just resting guys in this game. Man City coming in, already qualified for the next round. They finished with 3 points over Shakhtar anyway. But yeah, Fernandinho center back. This guy had to be Yaro at right back. Had to be Boyo. I don't even know.
Young kid.
And 20-year-old, and then Mangala playing left back. Foden, Danilo, Gundogan getting a rare start. So, I mean, the front three of Silva, Jesus, and Sane is pretty scary. But looks like he's just experimenting with who he can plug in later in the season.
It seems like he watched Liverpool over the weekend when Chan and Wijnaldum played center back. Pep was like, you know what, I can do that. I'm going to throw back some midfielders in there.
Yeah, man, Pep is obviously famous for that. We saw it last year. Didn't quite work out for him last year, but this year, all these guys, well, most of these guys have had him for 2 years now, 2 seasons, a season and a half, whatever you want to call it. So I'm sure that these guys are used to being moved around. Fernandinho, 1 minute is playing the 6, next minute he's playing the 2. It's like, dude, figure it out. Silva's playing the 10 spot in this game. Sane a little bit more narrow than usual. Like, this is Pep at his best. And fortunately for us, it comes back and bites him in the ass, which is great. I love it when City loses. They're going to walk into the Manchester derby with blood on their face. It's great.
You know what? That first goal, I mean, that was brilliant by Bernard. I mean, I have to give him a shout out for the fact that he always seems to be one of the first people I buy in FIFA for Ultimate Team just to get my team settled. He's fast. He has skill. He's always really cheap. I put him up top, always score a bunch of goals. But, I mean, that Shirl, I mean, that was unbelievable. I know that he's been linked to a few teams in England. I wouldn't be mad if I saw that guy in the EPL. I just don't know how he would do with his size. But then we see people like Shaqiri. True, he's not really small,
Cannonball,
but he's short. Yeah.
Cannonball.
Even Pedro.
Yeah.
In Chelsea.
That second goal. Oh my goodness. The assist on that ball, the ball that just dumped it right over the defense. That's what I was sort of talking about with Liverpool having the 2 outside wingers. If City's gonna really try to attack up the field, you can chip the ball over the defense, right into space, get that ball, and then you know what, Edison, he kind of shied away a little bit. I think he should have went fully into that ball instead of I don't know.
Yeah,
he went in with his princess foot.
Yeah, he definitely went in soft. But if you look at the meaning of this game, I don't blame him too much. 100%, that was super soft. I don't know if he does that in a game that means something. Be it Premier League, be it a cup game, be it knockout stage of Champions League. I think he just took, he weighed the options and was like, look, that's not worth the risk of myself getting injured for this game.
And the big thing is coming into the game, Shakhtar and Napoli both had 6 points. Shakhtar had 9 points. Napoli had 6. Everyone was thinking Shakhtar was going to lose this to City, and everyone thought Napoli was going to win. So it was exactly the opposite.
Yeah, it was an impressive performance by Shakhtar. Very impressive. Feyenoord on the other side of this game. Feyenoord 2, Napoli 1. Napoli crashes out of the Champions League, allowing Shakhtar to go through. Is this a surprise for you guys? Al?
I'm surprised that they let Feyenoord get their first win. Yeah, I mean, even if they won, they weren't going to qualify. But because Shakhtar beat City, but without knowing that fact, they still succumb to a loss. It's ridiculous. I mean, you expect more from Napoli.
Yeah, man, that's the tough thing about watching the Serie A and the French league, and sometimes the Bundesliga, not so much lately. The Bundesliga is that you'll see these teams performing in the domestic league, kicking butt, but there's always that factor, that difficulty factor. Certain leagues are playing on legendary level, while certain leagues are playing on professional level. And I think
shitting on Italy right now. What are they playing? What are they playing on over there?
Since dude, let's
Semi-pro?
just go. No, let's not disrespect them too much. Let's go professional. They're playing professional. Dude, since the 90s, it just hasn't been the same. At some point, the Serie A was the best league in the world, had all the best players. And England was just basically a rugby league. But since then, all the players are in England. Italy's not one to import a lot of players either, unless they're Brazilian, basically, or South American. They're talking about banning foreigners in the domestic league, or reducing the number, I should say, not banning foreigners, reducing the number of foreigners each team can have. And they crash out of the World Cup as well. And that team was comprised of mostly players who play in the Serie A. So this, for me, it says a lot about where the Serie A is and where the Serie A is heading, man. They need to get their act together.
Well, I mean, Napoli were
True,
unlucky
true.
in this game. There are multiple chances that on a normal day would go in. Even, I mean, Hamsik, he was going in. I think he slid into the ball. The defender was able to clear it out. I mean, just like little things like that, where if the ball was just a 1 foot to the left, 1 foot to the right, Napoli wins this game with ease. But you know what? It is what it is. Any team can beat any other team on any given day. I'm not surprised that Shakhtar went through. I thought it was pretty even with Napoli. I'm a huge fan of Shakhtar. I think they have some great talent over there. They get hidden away in a different league that we don't really follow all the time. But I think Shakhtar is always exciting because they're always known for bringing in young Brazilian talent. And even if they don't make it to another league, they always seem to stay with Shakhtar. So they must be taken care of very well there. And you got what, Marlos and Bernard. Talk about Bernard. He was on the national team. He's not anymore. But again, he stays around. He's class.
I agree, man. I agree. Bernard, dude, there's a conveyor belt at Shakhtar, and it goes from Brazil to the Ukraine. I don't know how they do it. I'm impressed by this club. We need to go try to intern over there and see what they're up to. Not even interview. We got to spend like 6 months to like a year just trying to figure out their business. But it's impressive, man. They keep churning out these Brazilians, finding these Brazilians. Their scouting system is quite impressive. And I'm happy that they get to roll the dice in the knockout stage. Now, I don't think they'll go far. I hope they do. Unless they play Man United, then I hope they crash out ASAP.
Probably draw Liverpool.
Yep,
Shakhtar? Don't you dare say that.
Hey.
That'd be tough. That'd be tough.
Huss's favorite club. Well, in this group, Man City, like I said earlier, and Shakhtar go through to the round of 16. Napoli crashes out. Sorry, guys. Group G. Let's go to Group G. We're talking RB Leipzig going down 2-1 to Besiktas in front of their own fans. Besiktas absolutely having a golden year right now in the Champions League.
They're undefeated, man, in qualifying. 4 wins, 2 draws. I mean, I never would have thought. I know I said it before, but 14 points for Besiktas, top in the group. Now they're getting the easy coast. That's going to be a team that a good second place team's going to draw, though. Real Madrid could draw Besiktas and just wipe the floor with them.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. I think they're playing more on Spurs. You look at a team like Shakhtar, obviously has Spurs, but I think they have players of ability as well, and that's not to disrespect Besiktas. Obviously, Besiktas has plenty of players with ability, but like you're saying, there's some element of this team that makes you feel like if they pull one of the big dogs, this could be, a 7-0 kind of result in the next round.
And you know what? Besiktas, I mean, I love the fact that Negredo comes out of nowhere from last year, struggling so much with Middlesbrough, comes back. He's doing well with Besiktas. Medel, we talked about this guy a few weeks ago about maybe a type of play, the style that Liverpool kind of need. True, he's older now. I'll see how old he is. He's 30 years old, so maybe he's a little too old to go to Liverpool, but I love the fact that he's still doing it. And you know what? Jermaine Lens. I believe he was with Sunderland at one point. I think, was it last year or 2 years ago? But he struggled a bit, but he's always one of my favorites in FIFA for the Netherlands because he's fast.
Surprise.
I'm sensing a theme, huh?
And he's Dutch.
Yeah, Netherlands. I thought I said Netherlands.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I'm just saying Andy's Dutch on top of the speed. So.
I love the Dutch.
2 goals in the last 10 minutes from both teams here. Huss's boy, Keita. I call him Huss's boy because he's earmarked to go to Liverpool next summer. Gets himself a impressive goal. There have been rumors about his form this year and whether It was a wise purchase by Liverpool, but it looks like he's getting his act together.
Yeah, I mean, look, he got lucky with the slip by the defender. I forget which. I think it could have been Mitrovic that slipped. But you know what? He still attacked, and that's something that Liverpool is going to love to see. This type of midfielder coming in, especially if they lose a player like Can. He gets the ball. He goes by at least one player, pushes the ball into space. The center back slips. He's in on goal, and he finishes the ball. There's many times that you see a midfielder just not finish, miss the net, do a stupid shot, but this guy put the ball away.
Absolutely. And
shout out to Bashik. Oh, sorry, Tiki. Shout out to Besiktas' goalie, Zengin. 10 saves in this game. You know, really doing his job to keep the score in their favor.
Yeah, that's a great shout, man. That's a great shout out. And on the other side of this group, FC Porto 5, Monaco 2. Bro, like I was telling Tom, Monaco, another team, man, that's going to go through that extreme rebuilding phase. They go 6 games without a single victory. And last year, there was like, long distance shouts about them winning a Champions League. So, man, this goes to show you can't be that club, a selling club. Like, this is the price that you pay. They're doing decently in the domestic league. But again, Napoli is as well. And they couldn't win in 6 games in the Champions League, playing alongside teams like RB Leipzig, Besiktas, and FC Porto. No disrespect to those clubs, but they're not the Real Madrids, Man Uniteds of the world. Just shaking my damn head. Shaking my damn
man.
head.
I mean,
I get nothing. I'm glad to see Porto in there. A Portuguese team. We always talk about Porto and its Sporting, those Portuguese leagues where they have great academies over there.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see that at least one of those teams are going through to showcase. Because you know what? Though this is the time in the round of 16, this is totally the time for someone on Porto to really showcase what they have and get pulled over to a big club.
And
not to say Porto is not a big club, but I mean a bigger club.
And you know what that's going to be? It's going to be Abubakar, bro. Vincent Abubakar.
He's nice.
Is a beast. Just needs a little bit. I think maybe this year, if he can get himself a lot of goals, someone's going to come in for him, be it Southampton, who's struggling to score goals, or, someone in the Prem, Watford, with Dini getting old. He could go anywhere. He's got the body to absolutely compete in the EPL. Let's see if he's got the ability.
Well, this guy,
9 months.
He's only 25 years old, so he has plenty of time to really. Well, he could be popping right now. Where the next 2, 3, 4 years, he very well could be, not maybe top 15 striker in the world if he really keeps on pace.
Well, look, he doesn't have that much time, man. He doesn't have that much time. If he was 25 playing in the EPL, playing the way he is, then I'd say, okay, he's got plenty of time. But he still needs to get into, a bigger league and then settle down. And then hopefully he's not playing on the biggest stage that makes him scared. Like, he doesn't have a lot of time, and I'd say the next year or 2 for him is going to be crucial. Are you a show or are you a joker? We'll see.
I think he's stating his case this season though. 25, going to be 26.
Yep.
But Champions League, 5 games, 5 goals, 2 assists. And in the league, 13 games, 9 goals, 2 assists. So he's popping, man.
Absolutely.
His numbers are there and his ability is there.
Yeah, just needs to keep doing it the whole season, and it'll be automatic. His deal will be automatic to a bigger league and a bigger club. But yes, like I said, with this one, Besiktas and Porto are through. I wonder how many people made money betting that these 2 teams would go through, because I did not see this coming. I saw Leipzig and Monaco. I don't know the order of those 2, but I saw those 2 going through.
I think we all said Leipzig, Monaco, or maybe we threw a Porto in there. But Besiktas, I don't think made anybody's predictions.
Yeah.
No, total wild card, man. Love it.
Yeah.
Quaresma.
Nice timing, Al.
All right.
Group H, final group, Spurs, Real Madrid. Spurs go through top of the group. We're talking Tottenham beating Apoel 3-0. Expected TCB at Wembley here. No shocks. Son gets himself another goal, this dude.
Fernando Llorente gets his big goal, though. I think that's the big one for him. Gets the start, gets a goal and an assist. He had a good game. Absolutely, man.
It allows Harry Kane to breathe a little bit, dude, because this was Harry Kane FC. Relax Eriksen, relax Dele Alli. Kane's got this. So it's good to see Llorente at least putting in the reps, getting himself some ducats. But my
It's
favorite
good.
man, sorry, Al, go ahead.
No. Continue.
I was gonna say my favorite is George's Kevin scoring that goal, man. I love this kid. I think there's something exciting about him. I don't know why. Maybe it's his cool name. I was very excited to see him get on the net, even though it was a lucky deflection.
Oh man, this guy's nice, dude. And as Hussey would say, he's fast as hell. But he's shifty, man. He never plays. You never see this guy for Spurs, and it's kind of like they never rotate, and that's why they don't keep the blood fresh. I think that's why they stumble because they don't have enough guys competing for those top spots. Or at least getting to showcase their efforts. On when it comes to game time. But great goal by him. Great to see him play. And Harry Kane, well earned rest, man. The guy's human. He's gonna break down at some point.
Yeah, I was very happy to. Sorry, I was very happy to see them switch away from that the 3-5-2 or the 3-4-3, however they were playing it, to a traditional more 4-4-2 or 4-1-4-1, however you want to call it. Either way, there's 4 in the back, and it gave them a little bit more stability in this game. I think that 3-back system, you rely a lot on your one-on-one center back defending, and usually when Toby's there, you can his side is locked down. Vertonghen, for the most part, he's a lockdown, and then Sanchez has been killing it. But since Toby's been out, there's an imbalance in that back line. I'm glad to see Pochettino showing that he's flexible. Let's see this weekend if he reverts back to that system. But I hope he doesn't, because lately it's just not working for them.
And many times we talk about the English league getting so much money here and there, and how they're bringing in players. And we're finally seeing the real effects of this right now. 5 teams from EPL get into the Champions League.
Shout, Huss. Great
5 teams move on to round 16. 4 of those teams top the group. The 5th was Chelsea, who tied on points for the group. They just lost out on differential. So if Chelsea was able to get a few more goals, we would have saw a clean sweep of EPL teams. And it's not like they got favored in a Liverpool got good draw. United got a pretty good draw. I mean, Spurs going against Madrid. I mean, we're seeing such an improvement in the league just because as much as we want to say maybe the younger players through the academies, but it's not that. It's the money. They're able to buy top talent, bring it in year after year after year.
Yeah, the talent, the money will get you so far. But every year there are 3 rich clubs that get relegated. So it goes to show, money can buy you the talent, but you still have to develop that talent. You still have to have that academy. But fair point, Huss. In the Champions League, this is where the depth comes through. This is where the pedigree, the caliber of players they're buying. I mean, you got Watford buying guys straight out of Brazil and getting work permits for those guys. That was unheard of back in the day. That person had to be an international of some sort. Because essentially you had to prove that this guy was better than anyone you could get, in your domestic country. So to help that case, you would say, look, he's a national team Brazil player or Argentine player. I remember Tevez had a hard time. Was it Tevez and I think it was Mascherano when they came? They had a hard time. Obviously, there were complications with their contract, but
Liverpool's still doing that with a player that played with Hoffenheim last year. I forget what team he's with right now. His name's Allen. I mean, they just can't get this guy to get a permit, and it's too bad because I think like a team like Liverpool could just say, okay, well, here's this briefcase of money, and just sign the paper. But, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe it's good that the system is working where they're not allowed to do that, but at the same time, when we bring up the players, it's not just players. They're able to attract the managers. EPL has Pep. EPL has Klopp, Jose Mourinho. I mean, that's just Conte. That's just the name for Arsene Wenger has been there forever, but he's still a top manager. As much as people want to say Arsene out, he's still top class.
I agree, man. He's still a world class manager. Yeah, Pochettino coming up. What's his name? All of a sudden, Sean Dyche this year is making noise. Yeah, man, top talent in the EPL. But let's wrap this Group H up. Tottenham, TCBs. Not much to be said for this one, except we're very surprised they finished top of the group. On the other side, Real Madrid 3, Dortmund 2. Dortmund goes winless in 6 games. This is what happens when you sell your talent to Bayern Munich all the goddamn time. You can't have the stability. You're losing managers left and right. Dortmund looks like a team that's in shambles right now, or a club that's in shambles. Never mind just a team.
Yeah, man, and Ronaldo making history again tonight, becoming the first player to score in every game in the group stage. I mean, the Ballon d'Or is going to be awarded on Thursday, and I think this just pushes him even closer. I think we all know he's going to win it with the Champions League and La Liga double last year. Top scorer again. He's going to be top scorer again this year, probably in the Champions League. I mean, he can't find the net hardly in the La Liga.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Champions League, man, Real Madrid, the exception of that Spurs game, but Real Madrid and Cristiano are ticking like crazy.
Yeah, I agree, man. Suck it, Messi. Over there getting subbed in the 60s. Relax, bro.
Like,
There's only one king in town.
Hey, you know what? Dortmund, even though got the 2 goals, that second goal, even Aubameyang, that was a very nice chip that he had, but he was offsides when that deflection came up.
Yep.
Or not? It wasn't a deflection. Sorry, I think it was more of a flick. Aubameyang was offsides. It was close, but at the same time, he was offsides. It is what it is. But what was it? Isco that had that flick to was it not Vasquez? It was the 20-year-old Miral or whatever.
Mayoral.
So when I love the fact that he was able to just turn his. Some people said he was trying to drag the ball with him. He probably was, but the ball landed exactly where it needed to sit.
Yeah, dude, that wasn't on purpose. That wasn't on purpose. It was beautiful. It wasn't on purpose. He was trying to roll it for himself and got lucky/unlucky. But yeah, dirty goals by them. Vasquez got himself the late winner in that one. And that wraps it up for Group H. Like we said, Tottenham and Real Madrid go through in that order. Anything else before we go, guys, before we wrap this up?
Not much, man.
Really, that goal from Cristiano, look, he's getting older, but that right there showed that he still had quick feet. He was able to get the Jody, just a snapshot. Boom, boom, go. I mean, it was a very, very nice goal.
Yeah, I love Ronaldo, man. He's still doing it big. All right, guys, that wraps it up. Champions League Group E through H, Match Day 6 review. Watch out for the round of 16 group. It's on Monday. I'm not sure of the time. Just Google it. We have so many worldwide listeners. There's really no point me saying a time, but it's on Monday, this coming Monday. What is the date? Hold on, let me pull this up. December 11th. So look out for that. And then the Champions League doesn't come back until 2018. So you have a bit more time to sit there and anticipate these round of 16 matchups. Thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it. We'll be back Sunday with our recurring Premier League review. Big games. Derby Sunday. We got the Manchester Derby, and then the Merseyside Derby as well. It'll be an absolute crazy Sunday. Look out for that episode coming to you next. Thanks for listening, guys. Anything else?
Fantasy talk.
Fantasy talk.
Fantasy talk, the written version coming to you on Friday. Look out for that one. All you bookworms, get ready because Huss is delivering the gold. That was a good one, right? That was a good one.
That was nice.
It was a good old dad joke. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Peace.
Later.